Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Horsemen Pro Football Talk podcast. I am Brad.
Zach.
I'm good.
All right, and it's good to be back. I don't do the fantasy thing. I haven't done it in a couple of years, so you guys covered all that for all of our fantasy people, and you didn't want my opinion anyway. It wasn't worth anything. So. So as you can see, it looks like we all had the same idea. We're all repping the lock for the week, right?
That's right.
I can't see. Today we're going to run down all the games for the preview. The season starts Thursday the 10th, and we're going to run down all the games and give you the spread, our picks, the whole thing, updated news. But we thought we'd show out and represent with the lock of the week. So put your money on the Colts. I don't see any way. I just don't see anything. I don't see any way. Jacksonville has no chance.
Not at all.
Whoever Jacksonville plays is probably going to be the lock of the week every week.
Yeah. Do you want to put your money on the Jags? Put them on 0-16.
Yeah, exactly.
They're trying.
Yeah. I even thought about it a little bit, and I started thinking about the coaching staff, and started thinking about Gruden, and I thought, in week's one of those things where everything kind of goes up in the air. You think you know what it's going to look like, and you've got a lot of things to tweak, and you've got a new coach and new players and new system. That whole thing going on in Jacksonville. Sometimes they can surprise people. No. It's gonna be a disaster. So
yeah, it's not looking good. And everybody that leaves there is talking about how happy they are to finally be free. It's just not looking good for Jacksonville.
No, poor bastards. Florida better trade them quick to Georgia, or they won't get anything for them. All right. So what game do we want to review for? I mean, we kind of just reviewed one. Do you want to finish this one? I mean, we're all taking the Colts. What's the spread on the Colts?
I think it's 7.5 points, so it's going to be more than that.
Yeah.
Put your money on the Colts.
Yeah.
7.5.
Yeah. Just a reminder too, if you're listening, you haven't joined our Pick'em League. We set up a Pick'em League. It's free. You can get in and pick against us. We'll talk about the results. We'll name the weekly winners here on the show. We might even have you on, to review the next week or whatever. That'd be a kind of cool thing if we can. I guess So check it out. You can check it out on our Facebook
page.
Right? Yep. And we'd love to have you in. So, okay, I'm going to start with Thursday night, Texans and Chiefs.
Bring it on.
All right. On the straight up pick, I don't see any way the Texans are beating the Chiefs.
Nope. Going with the Chiefs all day.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty obvious pick. Too much talent left the Texans.
Yeah. Look, we've talked about this already, but now we're here at the brink of the season. It's really time to put it up. There, in my opinion, there are two top tier teams in the AFC, and it's the Chiefs and the Ravens. There are other contenders. We've talked about the Colts. The Steelers are always a team. If they make it in the playoffs, you always have to contend with. I mean, maybe we'll see what Tennessee does. Maybe we'll see what Miami does. But hands down, the Chiefs and the Ravens, every week, in my opinion, are the team to beat in the AFC.
Yeah, absolutely. I think another team that's going to emerge to be a team like that this year is going to be the Bills, though. They're in the AFC. I think they're going to be a problem for people. As good as that defense is and the offense is continuously getting better, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I didn't mean to leave them out, certainly, but I look, the Chiefs and the Ravens have what it takes to go undefeated. It's ridiculously impossible to go undefeated. But if any two teams were going to do it, those would be the two teams to do it, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I saw a graphic the other day where somebody, I forget who it was, might have been Colin Coward or something, has the Ravens going 16-0 this year.
Yeah, it's because it's hard to pick against them. Obviously the odds are ridiculous that they'll be 16-0, but it's hard to pick against them, and it's very easy to come up with that number as you're moving through the season. Stranger things have happened, but that's certainly the way it looks now. So Chiefs are coming out 1-0. Texans are coming out 0-1, which will, from a momentum standpoint, could put a chink in the armor early. I know that the Texans are and the Titans both are pretty high on what their expectations for the season. And I think an early loss to the Chiefs, especially if it's bad, could really start to derail the Texans early.
Yeah, the Chiefs are favored by 9. I actually have the Texans covering the spread. I think it'll be a closer game. I don't think the Texans are that good. I just think Chiefs are going to stumble out the gate a little bit. They're still going to win, but
it's week 1.
yeah. So I got the Texans covering the spread.
The reason I have Kansas City covering that spread is because Kansas City is basically the same team that they were the last time these two teams played, but obviously the Texans got a little worse. So I think they're gonna smack them right in the mouth in week 1 and just keep on rolling.
I think that's good. I mean, both scenarios are very viable. It's week 1. Guys are rusty. You're trying to get the whole thing. It's been a weird. I mean, they didn't have a preseason. That's the first time that's ever happened. There's a lot of weird things. So they very well could be a close game, could be an ugly game. But by the same token, the Chiefs could really have their shit together and they could put up 50 points like it was nothing. And Texans would be in a lot of trouble if that's the case. Oh, yeah. So we're all in agreement, right?
Chiefs all the way.
Chiefs all the way.
Yep. Okay. Excited to see it happen.
All right. This may be the game of the week, gentlemen. Packers and Vikings. I had a debate with a Packers fan today telling me what an idiot I was, that I said, you better watch out. The Vikings might steal this division, and he thinks I'm smoking crack. But we've talked about them. I like what Zimmer's doing. I really think the Vikings are a contender this year. Week 1 is always, and we know that there might be problems in Green Bay. We still know that, it's Rodgers' second season in the system. He'll be better at it this year than he was last year. They've got some holes they got to fill. It's still the Packers. Vikings are up and coming. Week 1, interconference. This really could be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm more on the line of thinking that Minnesota just lost too much of their defense to really be competitive with a team like Green Bay. I know people say a lot about that Green Bay offense, and Devontae Adams is the only passing weapon, but Aaron Rodgers is great enough to take a not so good receiver, make them good enough to win games. They have 3 usable running backs. So I like the Packers to win the division, and I have them winning this game.
Yeah, I'm with there too. I like the Packers.
I have the Packers winning this game. Just to be clear, I do.
They are the underdog. The Vikings are favored to win.
Are they? I picked the Packers. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I think the Vikings can win. To me, it's almost a coin toss, which is why the spread's so low. We're all 3 in agreement with the Packers, right?
I got them 14-2 on the season. From our way too early season predictions we did way back in the day.
Yeah,
I got them winning 14 games this year, so they got to start off the gate swinging.
All right, so less than stellar. Bears and the Lions.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that one up. I was just looking at that one. I'm interested to see what the Lions are going to do now that they have AP. They're getting Matt Stafford back. They have the wide receivers that they've had the last couple of years. So, the chemistry on that team should be decent. But, will they actually be able to win games? There were, I believe, 10 games last year where they were up in the fourth quarter and had a chance to win, and they lost most of those games. And most of them happened with Stafford out for the rest of the year. But if they can win some of those games, they might be a pick to win that division.
They very well could be. I know they're getting a lot better. I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I don't think they're going to get in the playoffs, but I think they're definitely getting better than they were last year. They're favored by 3 this game. I have them winning and covering the spread. I don't see the Bears doing anything this year.
That's it. I mean, you said that the Lions are getting better. Didn't they only win 3 games last year? God, I hope they're getting better.
I'm not sold on Matt Patricia, but I do think the talent they have.
I agree with you. I think it doesn't matter. I think they need a coaching change, and I think that'll be real obvious this year. I think he'll be gone after this year, to be honest. But the Bears are a dumpster fire, and I actually think that this is the Lions. This will be their first step towards getting better from last year. It'll be one of their at least 4 wins this year. It will be against the Bears.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I actually have the Bears pulling this one out. As excited as I am about the future of the Lions, I do think that there wasn't a whole lot of turnover there with Chicago, and with the weird offseason, I think the groups staying together and as dominant as that defense can be, that'll make a difference here in the early part of the year. So I have the Bears winning week 1.
You heard it here first. Jeff thinks Trubisky's the MVP of the league.
MVP, baby.
Right. Well, interesting point. I still think that they can't do anything with the football. I think you've got a quarterback controversy that will just spin out of control. They're going to pull him. They're going to replace him. It'll go back and forth. It'll split the locker room. I just think the Bears are a disaster. I think this season's a wash for them, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, Colts and Jaguars. We've got that. 99% of people polled that had an IQ over 110 didn't live in Duval County. Not that they're necessarily correlated. Chose the Colts for this week.
Oh my!
All right, that's a little AFC South joke, inside joke. All right, Raiders and the Panthers.
I got the Raiders squeaking it out. They're favored by 3. I think it's going to come down to about a field goal.
I actually have the Panthers. There weren't a whole lot of people picking the Panthers to win, but I'm one of those people. I have a lot of faith in Teddy Bridgewater and DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson and CMC. That defense is super suspect, so I understand why anybody would think that they're just going to give up points and not keep up. But I do think the offense is explosive, and I'm taking them to beat the Raiders week 1.
Jeff's all about upsets this week.
Yeah, he is.
We're not even halfway through.
I think this is a coin toss simply because they're in Carolina. I think the Raiders have a slight edge, but they're like I said, they're at home. So, but I still got to go with the Raiders. I can't do anything with the Panthers this year.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders are going to be looking good. I don't know if you guys heard, but they put Marcus Mariota on the IR. So this is basically Derek Carr's team. There's no QB controversy here to come into the year at the moment, at least for the first 6 weeks, I think it is. So it'll be hopefully he can go back to MVP form like he was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it would be nice. I like John Gruden and I like Derek Carr, so it would be nice to see that. You think Mariota's their future? Is that realistic?
No.
A lot of people do because of his versatility and all that, but I don't see him getting the job for the Raiders.
Okay. Jets and Bills. The Bills Buffalo didn't need, just like the Colts, Buffalo didn't need a preseason. They get game 1 as their patsy game.
Yeah.
This will be bad.
Yeah, the Bills are only favored by 6.5 points. I think they're going to shatter that.
Yeah, I think that's only because it's week 1 and it's an interdivision game, but I agree with you. I think it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, shouldn't even be close.
Well, let's move on, shall we? Seahawks and Falcons.
That'll be a good game to watch. Great game.
Yeah, Jeff, tell me you got an upset on this one.
I actually do have an upset on this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think people are underestimating Todd Gurley and what he's able to bring. If he's getting 20, 25 touches a game, he'll produce when he gets the ball. That offense is cohesive. They kept most of the same pieces. I like all the talent that they have. And I think, the Falcons are at home. I think that's mainly the reason that I picked them to win this game. It was a toss-up for me. And then I picked the Falcons because home, even though there's not really any home field advantage this year. But I have the Falcons winning week 1.
I think it's going to be a close game. I got the Seahawks winning by a field goal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close too, and I think the Seahawks in the end overcome. As much as it pains me to say that, it is
Your
what.
boy Pete Carroll starting off 1-0.
Yeah, great. All right, the Eagles and the team formerly known as the Washington. It sounds like a Prince album.
You can't say that.
Yeah, I didn't say it, did I?
No, you almost did.
Yeah.
The Washington football team.
The Washington football team, another dumpster fire. I can't. Are they just not going to name their team before the season starts? Are they? It's from a marketing standpoint, it's kind of a cool anomaly that they don't have a mascot this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're keeping their name relevant. Everybody's hearing about the Washington football team, and then when they do announce it, their name's going to be right back out there in the press. So
Yeah, hopefully they'll get a little better before that happens next year. I don't see them beating the Eagles this week.
is Rivera coaching this weekend?
Yeah, he started his treatment. Yesterday was his first day of treatment, but he's back at practice today. He's ready to go.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. It'll be a long road. It's a high energy job, and obviously his treatment's going to take energy away from him. But I would think that if I were in that situation, I would want to keep some normalcy. So hopefully he can do both and have a successful treatment. Wish him the best for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not going to start with a week 1 W.
No, I got the Eagles winning by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good guess. 2 touchdowns, maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. So we got a lot of lopsided games this week, don't we?
Yeah, it seems that way. There's only a few that are predicted to be close.
Yeah. So next is Dolphins and Patriots. I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to make sure that I'm not just being biased.
Patriots are favored by 6.5 points. I have the Dolphins winning the game.
I actually have the Dolphins too, even with the signing of Cam Newton. I don't know if that's going to be enough to offset the amount of talent that left the building or opted out for the season. So many pieces, so many starters not in the lineup anymore for the Patriots. So I see the Dolphins beating the Patriots week 1.
Yeah, and we've discussed this in great length too. I think they'll beat them too. I have them winning. It's hard to win at Foxborough, but it's still early in the season. It's week 1, interdivision. For some reason, the Dolphins always have the Patriots number, and there's a lot of chaos. If anybody can sort through the chaos, it's Belichick, but there's a lot of chaos up there right now. And I'm high on the Dolphins, so I think the Dolphins got this one too. What is the spread on this?
6.5. Patriots are the favorite.
Okay. I don't know though. I mean, AFC East games are notorious for being 9-6, so they might win, but they might not cover.
Yeah.
All right. Another preseason game for the Ravens. Browns and the Ravens. I don't even know that we need to talk about it.
Nah, I think it's gonna be closer than people think.
You think?
Jeff's high on the Browns. He's got them in the playoffs, don't you?
Yeah, got him going.
He's hanging on to Derek Carr and the Browns, isn't he? We've been having this conversation for a couple of years.
Yeah,
hey, one of these years they're going to get there.
Absolutely, and they got better this year. They upgraded the offensive line. They upgraded the defense. I like what they're doing. They just extended Kareem Hunt, so I assume they have a big role for him in the offense, and that's exciting. But I don't think they can beat the Ravens. It just can't happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Again, division game, week 1. All that whole thing, but I don't see it. We just talked about the Ravens potentially winning 16 games. The interesting thing would be to lose to the Browns in game 1 would probably fuel this team to a Super Bowl win. I think that's where the expectations are, and they're so good, they're so strapped, they're so poised that if they lose to the Browns in week 1, I think that might start a fire that would just really put everyone else in jeopardy along the way. I mean, they would. So that would be interesting in itself, but I still don't see it.
No, I think they're gonna win this easily.
Yeah, I really could see Lamar doing the same thing he did last year in Week 1 against the Dolphins when he went for 300 some odd yards passing and 4 touchdowns through the air. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he had a game like that.
Yeah. All right. Chargers and Bengals. Boring.
Yeah, I actually have the Chargers winning. They're the 3.5 point favorites, but I have the Bengals covering the spread. So I think it'll come down to a field goal.
Boring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Probably not, the most spectacular entertainment of the weekend. I think the Chargers are going to win, but again, nothing spectacular. Probably will be a field goal.
Yeah, but it's Joe Burrow's debut, so you might find some entertainment in it. See how well he's going to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there are some explosive pieces in both those offensive units. Nothing crazy. But like you said, not a whole lot to watch here. I do have the Chargers winning, but not a game that I'm seeking out to go find this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. All right. The other potential game of the week, Buccaneers and Saints. The one everybody's been waiting for, Tom Brady in a different jersey.
Yeah, now that there might be the game of the week.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think that is the game of the week. I'm more excited to watch this game than any other game there is, including
I am too. I would agree with that. The Vikings and Packers, I think, from a strategical standpoint, that's why I said that earlier about them. But from a hype standpoint, with everything it involves, with just as talented and electric as the Saints are, and the hype build up around Brady, I think this is the game right here. I agree
for sure. Who do you got winning?
You're gonna make me choose, huh?
You got to. It's a pick 'em.
Man, I don't know. I have gone back and forth on this for 3 months. It depends on the day. It really does. It is hard. Man, it is hard to bet against Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
Well, let me tell you why I have the Saints winning this one, and then see if I can change your mind at all. Because
All right,
I think both of these teams obviously have all the weapons they need on offense. The Saints were able to grab Emmanuel Sanders, that extra pass catcher that everybody said they needed. Both offenses are going to be explosive. We know that. But if you look at it, Tampa Bay wasn't good on defense until the last 8 weeks of last year, whereas the last 2 seasons, the Saints have been continuously climbing up the ladder boards on all the different stats on defense. Their pass rush is kind of insane. They have a great secondary. Their middle linebackers are really good veteran players. So I'm going with the Saints in this one because I think their defense can make one more stop than that Tampa Bay defense.
Very solid assessment. I'll agree with you. I think it's going to be Drew Brees leading them down the field at the end, kicking a field goal to win the game.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe assumption, and to even kind of expand just from the fact that the Saints are a well-oiled machine that's already rolling. I mean, its momentum has already been in place for years. Tom Brady obviously is new. They brought a lot of new people in. They have a lot of weapons, but everybody's new. They didn't have a preseason. They haven't played together. It's been weird with COVID. Just hasn't been the same. And so I expect a little bit of sputtering to come out of Tampa before if they end up being the team that I think they're going to be. But they're probably not going to be it in week 1. So I'm going to have to agree with you guys. We'll go with the Saints.
Yeah, pretty safe bet to take them at home. Probably going to be a safe bet to take Tampa at home when they play later in the year.
Yeah, I think that's what I have on my predictions, having them split in the home and home.
Yeah, I think I do too. And we're going to have to go up here in Tampa to make sure that works out the way it's supposed to. All right. Cardinals and 49ers. What do you think?
Got the 49ers winning, but barely. I think it's going to be a very closely contested game. They're favored by 7, but I think it'll come down to a field goal, to be honest with you. I think the Cardinals are on the rise this year.
Yeah, I think The Cardinals have gotten a lot better. They had a pretty good draft, obviously not free agency, but they made the trade for D Hop. And I think they got good enough, and the 49ers have lost just enough that Arizona is going to be able to go in and beat the 49ers.
I just think the 49ers are at home. I don't have a whole lot. I don't know that I'm really buying into the Cardinals train. I know the 49ers have had some struggles, but I think coming into week one into home, I'm going to go with the 49ers and to cover the spread. I mean, I think they'll win by more than a touchdown.
What'd you say the spread was?
7.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to cover that.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. But if they don't, we're going to have to edit that part out of the video. We'll have to go. All right. Damn it. I don't want to talk about the Cowboys. I'm so sick of this Cowboy nonsense.
It's every year.
Every year. And they've got some talent this year, which makes it even worse. The expectations are back up. But I'm so tired of this Cowboys thing that I don't even enjoy watching the hype deflate throughout the season anymore. That has even gotten boring. With that said, Cowboys and the Rams, this will probably be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think so. I have the Rams winning.
Do you?
Getting the upset. Yeah, Cowboys are favorite. I got the Rams winning at home because I hate the Cowboys pretty much.
Yeah, this is like the Seahawks to me. But I think the Cowboys are going to win. I'm going with the Cowboys this week.
Just quiet. I know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys too. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be an explosive Sunday night game, but Cowboys are just way too talented on both sides of the ball to lose this game.
You think they're going to beat them by more than a field goal?
Yeah, probably more around 9 or 10 points.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. Way to put it out there, F.A. God, I hate picking the Cowboys. I think they're going to win. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're still going to be mediocre like they always are. They'll find a way but they're going to start 1-0, and then we get to hear Cowboys fans talk about they're Super Bowl bound after 1-0.
I know, right?
Of course, they would still talk that way if they were 0-1. So
see, I don't know what's worse, Titans fans or Cowboy fans.
Dude, these Titans fans have been something else lately, man.
I kind of feel sorry for them because I think it's unfounded. I mean, we've talked about this before. I want them to do well. I like what's going on in Tennessee.
Yep.
I just don't see it the same way the Titans fans do, and I don't think it's going to work out that way. And I think they're going to be extremely disappointed. And
I can't wait to throw it all back in their face. Especially if the Colts win the Super Bowl. Oh boy.
Yeah, at least even the division.
Yeah, that too.
That would be enough.
Yeah, that's enough to set off all the Jags fans and Texans fans and Titans fans. They'll love that.
Yeah, which I fully expect to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Steelers and Giants.
I think this is going to be a better game than what most people probably think. I don't think there's going to be an upset here, but Daniel Jones is a lot better than people thought he was going to be. If that team can stay healthy, they would have been better last year too, but it's like every game there were 2 wide receivers out. Just pick a game and there are going to be 2 of those guys out. So if they can stay healthy, this is an offense that can be very explosive. It can stay with most people in the league. But Steelers here week 1, I expect them to pull it out.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. I don't really have very much to add to that because you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. I have Steelers winning. They're favored by 5.5. I think it's going to be a very close game. Giants will cover the spread.
Yeah, and I talked a couple weeks ago about Mike Tomlin and his record, his pattern of records, and he had 2 down years, and I don't know. This is kind of where we'll see what he's made of, but I think he's given us enough to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think the Steelers may end up being a little better than what people think they may be, which I still think they're they're pretty formidable. Kind of just a long-winded answer for I don't see the Giants beating the Steelers at all in an empty stadium on Monday night, and I think the Steelers lock this one up pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, if Mike Tomlin, he has a great track record, has been down, but with the situation he was given last year to go 8-8 with that team, if he's getting all his pieces back, then yeah, they should be just fine against a team like the Giants.
Last one, Titans and Broncos. Now the Titans fans are touting this one that there's something personal here. I guess so. I've heard some Titans fans talking about Jarrell Casey. Obviously, was talking about the Titans threw him away like trash, and he said he's going to do everything he can do to give all the intel and information he can to help the Broncos beat the Titans. And the Titans signed Clowney and then gave Clowney Casey's number as a diss, and they're expecting this to be a big deal. Hype or legit?
Sounds like it's just hype. Who knows? I mean, I hope the Broncos win it. Obviously, AFC South fan, so I hope the Titans will go down 0-1, especially because we just talked about the Titan fans. I'd love for them to shut up for a week, get some peace and quiet, but ultimately I see the Titans squeaking this one out.
Yeah, I actually had originally had the Broncos winning this game. I thought they were going to come out and surprise everybody with all their new weapons, but with Von Miller being out for the year, he has some kind of torn tendon in his ankle, and he's out for the year. And I think that's going to have a bigger impact on that defense than some other people might think. So I had to switch my pick here. I have Tennessee dominating this game.
Dominating?
Dominating.
Well,
it's always hard to go into Denver and play, even if there are only 12 people on the sidelines or in the stands. So it's always tough to go into Denver to play for the altitude reasons, that kind of thing. This is a pretty good litmus test for what we're going to see out of Tennessee this year. I mean, are they going to continue where they were? Was it not a fluke? Did they build upon that? Does Vrabel really have his shit together? And are they going to come out a contender? This is probably going to be a pretty good litmus test in week one to see what kind of Tennessee team we're going to get. I like to think I like Vrabel and I like Tannehill, and I like to think that it wasn't just a fluke. I think it was kind of a fluke. I think they just hit their peak at the right time, and it worked well for them. But I think it's also an indication of what Vrabel's been doing. I think Tennessee is going to be a contender for the division, and I think they go into Denver and they win this game. But I would love to see them lose this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I can't. I hate it when coaches when I like players and coaches in the AFC South, because I can't ultimately, when it comes down to it, I can't root for them. So.
Derrick Henry, over or under 100 yards?
Way over.
Way over?
Way over.
Like 200?
They probably pretty close to it, if not over, because they don't have Bradley Chubb for week one. They don't have Von Miller. Their front seven. Jarrell Casey is the only notable person left in the front seven. So I think they're going to do kind of what the Niners did to the Packers in the conference championship game, and they're just going to run and just keep on running because they're not going to be able to stop it.
We'll find out.
If I didn't have an opinion before, when Jeff emphatically said way over, he changed my mind to whatever it was. I'm falling in line with. That's the guy that runs up and gets in the line. He knows what line he wants to get in, and I'm leaving the line I was in to go stand in his line. All right. I think that's all of them, right?
Yeah, that's all we got this week.
Okay.
I'm excited to see some football.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming. It's been weird without the preseason. The whole thing's just been weird, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Again, if you're listening, jump in on our Pick'em League. Come try your luck against us. bragging rights, we'll let you come on and talk on the show. We'll let you talk trash, not too much trash. If it's too much, then we'll edit it out. Or if you're a Titans or a Texans fan, you can't come on. If you're a Cowboys fan or a Jags fan, we'd love to have you on. Come tell us why your team is so good. But seriously, we join our Pick'em League, see how you fare against us. Come on, talk trash, and tell all your friends, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and join us next week.